What's going on, guys? It's Monday. I haven't done a haul video in a while. I've got some Switch games, I've got some Xbox games, I got some that were kind of expensive, some that were kind of cheap, and we'll go through all of them. We'll start with the Switch games here. The first one is Mario Kart World, and the reason why I got this is because I'm finally getting a Switch 2, and that's thanks to my sister. She has a Walmart Plus membership, and she was able to get her and me one within like the span of like 5-10 minutes. So that's cool. I can't wait to play this, but moreover, I can't wait to play Switch games that ran like crap. Next is going to be Darius Burst EX. Now, I played this in the arcade before. It was out in Greensboro, and it's a fun game. It had a huge screen, a really like wide screen, but yeah, it was pretty fun. I'm glad to have it at home. Next is Wonder Boy Aisha in Monster World. Now this comes with Monster World 4 for free, and I really like the Monster World series. I really like 4. 4 is my favorite, so it was nice to get this for free. And it's a nice little side-scrolling adventure game. If you haven't played any Monster World games, I suggest start with the first one or go right to the fourth one. The fourth one's pretty good too. Next is going to be Dodonpachi Resurrection on the Switch. Now, I have this game on the Xbox 360, and I'm probably just going to keep playing that one. This is new. This is sealed. But this also comes with extra goodies like a steelbook case and a poster, a slipcover. There's a chiptune arrangement album, and of course the game itself. So it's pretty cool. The cover is not really anything to write home about. It's a limited run game, but this is a cave shooter, so if you know anything about cave shooters, they are definitely bullet hell games, and I think they require a certain acquired taste for them. Next, we're going to do PS5 games, and we're going to start with The Messenger. And I have this digitally. I've always kind of wanted it physically, and it was a good opportunity because they did a reprint of these, I believe. Like, there was The Messenger on PS4 and the Switch. Costs a lot, and they went ahead and did a reprint of them. Now, this one here comes with the Picnic Panic DLC, so there's 3 extra levels on this. And if you like games like Ninja Gaiden or Shinobi 3, a little bit slower paced than those two, I would suggest getting this. It's pretty fun, and it's also not expensive. So it was, but it's not. Next one is going to be Devil Engine Complete Edition. This is a horizontal shooter. I got this for a cheap price from Limited Run Retail because the case was just destroyed. Thankfully enough, I had a case spare, and I was able to salvage the artwork. There really wasn't much damage to the artwork itself. But this is a nice horizontal scrolling shooter. The artwork is pretty nice on it. Like the sprite work and the hand-drawn illustrations are pretty nice. So that's also a plus. And there's going to be a lot of shooters in this. There's going to be a lot of shmups. So that's a word of warning. Next is Dynasty Warriors Origins. I played this at a friend's house, and I got kind of hooked on it. It's not your typical Dynasty Warriors game. It's not going to be like you pick any random general and you just haul ass and kill everything in sight. This is more story driven, and it has to do a lot with the character that's on the cover here. Like, you're playing as them going through the Three Kingdoms era, which is definitely a big change compared to most of, if not all of, the Dynasty Warriors games that isn't like an Empires game. Next, and second to last for the PS5 games, is going to be Fate Samurai Remnant. This is also an Omega Force game. I'm a big fan of the Fate series, but I could never really get into the games. I would always start them and never even get halfway before I stopped playing them. So I'm kind of hoping that this gets me back into it and allows me to actually finish one of them. Alright, let's move on. We are at the last PS5 game, and I believe this is pronounced Farmagia. And if you notice on the cover here, the guy who did Fairy Tail did the character illustrations for this game. And this is a very colorful action RPG. And I think Marvelous did it. So the people who did Senran Kagura did this game. So that's probably where the action's coming from. This comes with a bunch of little goodies. This comes with a soundtrack, a 96-page art book, this nice little case here. Although this is kind of big, this has a hard time actually fitting in my shelves, so I do have to make room for it. I might just put it in my special edition shelf just to save room. Okay. Next is the Super Nintendo. And I got one title, just one, and I have to be very judicious with the remainder of the titles that I pick up for it, because I have very limited space. I have enough for about 105, 106 games, so most likely if I buy one game, I'm going to be selling another. And so this one came at the cost of Goof Troop. I don't have that anymore. I sold that for Imperium. And Imperium is a shooter very much so like Musha, like or Robo-Lest, like you're flying a mech instead of like a spaceship or a plane, and it's definitely in that vein. I don't know if you can see the back here, but it definitely has the same kind of HUD that one of those games would have. It's pretty fun. I played it before. Vic Tokai did it, which that goes to show you like where in the realm of shooters that this came from. But it's also good to have in the collection. It costs about $100. There are other games kind of like this that don't cost as much, just not Musha or Robo-Lest for that matter. Those are more expensive. But if you do like it, this is a good alternative for the Super Nintendo. The Super Nintendo didn't really have a lot of these kind of games, like these particular kind of shooters. Alright, so next, we're going to go to Sega Genesis, and I got two. And this is going to be the second Darius game that I'm showing, and it's going to be Heya, and that's also known in other parts of the world as Darius 2. Now, after playing like a later Darius game, like I have Darius on the Saturn, I have it on the Switch now, I think I have G Darius on the PS4. After playing those games and then coming back to this feels very basic. Like it just does. It's the second one they've ever done. So it's not going to be the most technically advanced or best looking. But it's still a Darius game. You're still fighting giant robot fish in space and on different planets. So there's that. And it was a good price. I feel like I got a good price for this. And the cover looks really neat too. Alright, the last Genesis game I have is Phelios, and Phelios it's a fantasy shooter. It takes a lot of Greek mythology cues on it, like you're playing as Apollo, you're saving Artemis, I believe is the girl on this cover. I had to do a Japanese cover for this because the American cover looks like crap. The Japanese cover looks so much better. But let's go ahead and move on to the only Xbox Series game that I got, and that's Darksiders 2. It comes with all the DLC. I played the War Master Edition a lot. Like, I really liked that one. That one kind of felt like a very edgelordy kind of Zelda game. Now, this one has a little bit of a difference because you get different gear you can swap out, and I feel like you have a different leveling system compared to what you had before. And you play as Death. You don't play as War, obviously. Other than that, it'll probably be pretty fun. I need to give it an honest try. Like, I played it on the 360 and didn't get very far. I got maybe to chapter 2. So let's see if I can get a little farther than that. Lastly is going to be my 360 games. And all of these are games that I was really looking for. And I feel like you shouldn't overpay for these. Like, the price on some of these are just stupid. Would not suggest paying the price unless you're like doing trade credit or something like that. First, and this one is kind of an exception, But it's Forza 4 Limited Collector's Edition. This has a steel book and an art book, and this cool little cardboard cover. I really did like Forza 4. Forza 4 was probably my favorite motorsport out of all the Forzas. The new ones kind of, they just don't hit like this one did. Like they have some kind of weird like live service mechanic almost. This one here was great. This one was, I want to say this one had Top Gear. Yeah, this has Top Gear in it. I believe Jeremy, James, and Richard are doing the stuff for this before they left Top Gear. I could be wrong, but I want to say it is, and I want to say that is an M3. It could be an M5. Next is Naruto Rise of a Ninja. This is one of the ones where I'm not sure why it got as expensive as it did. It's a Ubisoft game. It's an action kind of adventure / fighting game. And in typical Ubisoft fashion, there's an open world with a bunch of crap to pick up. I can take or leave that. I've heard that the fighting mechanics are actually good. This is very early in the Naruto timeline. I want to say this is just starting at the very beginning of the entire series. So there's that if you ever want to go back to it. This is typically going for about 35 to 40 bucks. I wouldn't pay that much for it. Unless you're trading for it, of course. Next is my favorite Suda51 game, and that is Killer is Dead. This, if you know No More Heroes, Lollipop Chainsaw, same people made that. This has really good hack and slash mechanics. A really kind of crazy story, but Suda51 games are pretty famous for that. And there's a weird date mechanic in it too, which is pretty funny. But yeah, this is probably my favorite one, especially when it comes to the boss fights. Best Suda51 game. I just beat the last boss in this game, and I have gameplay going up, which should have been already posted on Saturday and Sunday. It's a 2-part finale. And yeah, like I would honestly suggest playing this above a lot of other 360 games, and it's not expensive at all. Like I got this for $8, and I think it was $8 plus shipping, and it was like 13. But still, this is well worth the $13, especially compared to half the crap that goes for a ridiculous price. And speaking of ridiculous prices, Operation Darkness. This typically goes for about $100. I want to say I've seen it for around 80. Don't pay that much for this game. Just don't. I have this is a strategy game by Atlas, so that's telling you already that it's going to be expensive and it's going to be in a limited print. There are better, cheaper strategy games of this kind of timeline. Now, this kind of has more of a supernatural feel to it. But if you're looking for like a World War II-esque strategy game, Valkyria Chronicles costs $8, and it's a way better game. Like, way better. Only get this game if you are really curious on how this plays, if you're really curious about it, or if you're trying to complete a collection. Other than that, there's really no excuse to pay $100 for this game, and I didn't. So, there's that. That's all of the games that I have for this pickup, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I will see you next week.